In this footage from an elevator camera in Santiago, Chile, a man carrying groceries walks in as usual. But just before he can press his floor button, the elevator suddenly starts moving, even before the doors close. Panicking, he desperately pressed the emergency button, but nothing worked. Instead, the elevator kept malfunctioning. It shot up 31 floors in just 15 seconds before crashing into the roof, leaving the man seriously injured. This video should warn those who are always glued to their phones. A woman in China was walking while looking at her phone and accidentally entered a parking garage. By the time she realized where she was, it was too late. The door closed behind her and she was taken down by the car elevator. Things got even worse when a car hit her, pinning her against the wall. In this scary video, two men were talking in an elevator when they realized they were stuck.
你打工程师傅的电话啊。喂，你好。你说打哪个电话呀？工程师傅的电话。
They kept pressing the emergency button, but suddenly they were thrown into the air as the elevator dropped. Luckily, they survived, but looked hurt.
哦耶！我的天哪！ 把我老公全部都是个抛起来的，你看了？
At the start of this video, a young boy is seen trying to lead a tied goat into an elevator, but as soon as he steps inside, the doors close, trapping the rope he used to pull the goat. His father quickly pressed the emergency button, but the elevator started moving before anything could stop it. The rope, still wrapped around the boy, pulled him toward the ceiling. Thankfully, his father managed to bring him down in time. State police released footage of a robbery that took place in an elevator. The suspect was seen grabbing the victim by the neck while pointing a gun at her. Terrified, the woman handed over her handbag, but the robber tossed it aside. Instead, he grabbed the package she was holding, but after a moment he threw that away, too, and simply walked out of the elevator. Another robbery took place in an elevator lobby in downtown Los Angeles. The suspect was seen holding a woman at gunpoint and taking her valuables. After she handed over her watch, he reached for her bag. The woman hesitated, but there was nothing she could do. He took what he wanted from the bag and walked away. In this video, hospital staff push a patient on a stretcher into an elevator. Everything seems normal, until it doesn't. The stretcher tipped over, and the patient fell headfirst to the ground. The medical staff with him could do little to stop it. This woman gave her children a new fear when she told them they were stuck in the elevator. They immediately panicked as she explained that she was pressing their floor button, but it wasn't working.
Guys, I think we're stuck in this elevator.
Wait, Tyson, stop. Stop. Mom, please try and open the door, please.
No, seriously. It's not. I pressed 3, guys.
Luckily, the elevator doors opened, and the children wasted no time rushing out.
Mommy, open the door. Oh, get out. Please, no.
Even when stepping into an elevator, safety isn't guaranteed. In this video, a woman had just stepped out when the doors suddenly trapped her son as he tried to follow. Panicked, she struggled to open the doors, sticking her hands between them and repeatedly pressing the emergency button. Thankfully, the elevator didn't start moving, and the doors opened just in time. The woman and her other child quickly stepped out. They might stick to the stairs from now on. CCTV footage captured a chaotic moment in a lobby where a drunk man kept slamming an elevator door while his friend tried to calm him down. Meanwhile, an intoxicated woman lay on the floor, and a young boy stood watching everything. As this strange scene unfolded, another group of 4 people was inside the elevator. Suddenly, it got stuck on the 18th floor, which is believed to have been caused by the man slamming the door. Help finally arrived as maintenance staff opened the doors, rescuing those trapped inside. As for the drunk man from earlier, he was arrested. This man is definitely one of the luckiest people in the world. CCTV footage captured him pushing a trolley into an elevator and stepping out to pull the door down. Just then, the elevator suddenly crashed. He was lucky to have stepped out just in time. This person was about to step into an elevator when they suddenly tripped. At first, it looked like a simple stumble, but that wasn't the case. As the elderly woman tried to get up, the elevator doors started closing and moving. Thankfully, she managed to escape just in time. On January 15, 2021, just as this woman was about to step out of the elevator, a man attacked her from behind. He put her in a headlock and pinned her against the side of the elevator. He then punched her several times before robbing her. In this video from Rome, an escalator suddenly sped up, causing passengers to lose balance and fall on each other.
escalator suddenly began accelerating, sending passengers piling on top of each other.
People on the up escalator tried to pull others to safety, but the chaos continued. In the end, 20 people were injured, with 7 in serious condition.
You can see people riding on the up escalator trying to pull people to safety. At least 20 people were injured, with 7 in serious condition. Most of the injured were Russian soccer fans who were in town to see a game. Causes now under investigation.
This video of a young girl stuck in an elevator in Lucknow went viral in 2023. After pressing the emergency button multiple times, she bravely tried to open the door. When she realized she could barely move it, she called for help through the CCTV camera while still trying to open the door. In southern China, a group of people took an elevator to the ground floor, expecting a normal ride. But when the doors opened, they were met with a brick wall.
So what do you do if you find yourself stuck in an elevator? These people in southern China were headed downstairs when their lift suddenly stopped. When the door opened, they saw there was no way out.
After calling for help and getting no response, an interior designer in the elevator took matters into his own hands. Using his tools, he created a hole in the wall.
Their ordeal all caught by closed-circuit television cameras. They called for help, but no one could hear them. But panic not. One guy, a decorator, just happened to have a hammer in his bag. Chinese state media reports the man banged away for 40 minutes before cracking a hole in the wall.
The hole was big enough for the skinniest person to squeeze through and call for help.
Enough for this man to squirm through and get help.
In the first clip, the elevator worked fine. A woman entered and exited without problems. But things were different for the next woman. As soon as she got in, she got stuck. She pressed the emergency button, but the doors wouldn't open. She even started kicking the door, but nothing worked. Eventually, she broke down and sat on the floor, overwhelmed. Thankfully, help finally arrived, and she was rescued. This could be a good warning about the phone addiction. While waiting for the elevator, this man was so focused on his phone that he didn't notice a little puppy hanging above him.
Resident walks up to the elevator. He pushes the button, all the while scrolling on his phone.
Eventually, he looked up, saw the puppy, and helped unhook it.
As he waited for the elevator, he looked up and he couldn't believe what he saw. Fernando Santos reacted in an instant and unhooked the dog.
These women were moving packs of water into the elevator. One placed a pack at the door to keep it from closing while they arranged the other packs. But when the second woman moved the pack from the door, the elevator doors closed. Panicking that it was moving, the woman tried to force the doors open. But when they opened, she saw a brick wall. What she did next was shocking. Not knowing how to stop the elevator, the woman squeezed herself between the doors and the brick wall. Her son heard her scream, and firefighters were called to rescue her. A police officer was on his way to work when he got stuck in an elevator.
Hello? Hello? Hello? Hello? Hello? Hello? Hello?
He started banging on the door and pushing it open until the elevator lights went out. Luckily, he had a flashlight with him. After struggling for a while, he managed to force the door open. Out of frustration, he spat at the elevator's camera before leaving. Just as the elevator was about to move, a man decided to do something terrible. He robbed a disabled man near Avenue C and East 12th Street. The thief took what he wanted and then walked away, leaving the disabled man behind. Police are looking for a thief who robbed a 74-year-old man in a Manhattan apartment building elevator. The whole robbery was caught on camera. The suspect walked into the elevator and started talking to the man, but soon the man became upset. When the elevator doors opened, the suspect tried to pull a gun from his pocket. He took the old man's belongings and ran off through the lobby. On September 9th, near Bryant Avenue in the Bronx, an unknown person followed a 69-year-old man, waited for him to enter the elevator, and then tried to pickpocket him. When the thief realized he had not obtained anything valuable, he pulled out a knife, threatened the man, and stole more items before running away. After robbing a restaurant, the thieves were caught on camera entering an elevator. Their presence made the other people in the elevator uneasy, and they quickly left. Happy with their robbery, the thieves were seen on camera fist-bumping each other in celebration. In this scary video, 3 kids walk into an elevator. As they enter, the boy in the group is playing with a rope. When the door closes, part of the rope gets stuck outside while the boy still has the rope around his neck.
Yakalım, yavaşla. Yavaş yavaş çıksın.
Şahıs asansöre gidiyor.
Bak.
İp kalıyor orada bak.
As the elevator started moving, things turned dangerous. The rope tightened around the boy's neck, choking him.
Yapma, boynuna koymuş.
Thankfully, the oldest girl acted quickly. She pressed the emergency button and managed to free him from the rope.
Al sana bak, nefes alamıyor. Periştah kaymış. Allah'tan asansör sistemle de duruyor. Yoksa o çocuk orada zor.
This mother didn't realize her child had entered the elevator alone. After watching his parents use the elevator a few times, the child pressed the buttons and waited to see what would happen. The door opened, but it closed again before he could step out. After a long search, his family finally found and rescued him. A woman walked into an elevator and a man followed her. As soon as the doors closed, he attacked her and grabbed her bag. Every time the elevator door opened, the man stopped hitting her, but when it closed, he continued. He took what he wanted and then ran away. A woman entered the elevator carrying a whiteboard. When the doors closed, she realized she had trapped herself. Laughing at the situation, she tried to duck under the board to the other side, but couldn't bend low enough. Instead, she stood back and waited for the elevator to stop. In July 2023, the NYPD released footage of two women inside an elevator at the America of the Americas and West 4th Street train station. The two unknown individuals approached, attacked, and robbed two elderly victims.